All right, Xenoblade. That'll be exciting. All right.
It looks so bad. Oh my god.
I know you think it looks so bad.
It does though. Oh my fucking! Who designed those characters? Weeaboo Fan 64 from DeviantArt? What the fuck?
Really, guy? Mr. I'm hyping up the Backstreet Boys on a road trip?
Who? I'm not hyping anything. What are you talking about? What are you even talking about?
The
fuck you, Backstreet Boys are great. I don't want to hear that shit.
Welcome to episode 48 of the Endless Backlog podcast. I am your host with the most, Gagan Singh. Joining me today is the author of Eternal Dreams, Christopher Compton.
What's up, everybody? Good to be here.
And my main running man, Philip Hartmeyer.
What's up?
How's it going, gentlemen? We're enjoying the day? We're enjoying our lovely ass, what is today? Monday? Yeah, it is Monday.
I didn't even have to wear my winter coat today. First day of the year. Pretty happy about that.
Went outside in shorts today.
Yeah, shorts and sandals.
It's 45 degrees.
Dude, I am so excited that the weather started clearing up. Like, just oh my fucking god.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain for the next 4 days here, so that's
Why?
Fuck. Feel bad for you. It's just gonna be sunny and balmy up here in New York, and then like... So, like, because the way the winter's been, like, every time I get out of the house, I, like, run into my car, and then, like, I blast the heat right away, right? Mm-hmm. And usually it's still blowing cold air, but it's the thought that counts at that point.
Because all it makes you feel better.
Yeah, but like my car's also like black as fuck. So like when it's like sunny outside, that car's gonna get hot. And the other day, like I think it was Saturday morning, sun was up all day, basically. Went into my car and I'm ready to go do my usual routine of blasting the heat, and I'm like, wait a minute, this car feels really fucking warm right now.
Right.
I was like, holy... I'm not going to touch this heat thing, because, like, it's unnecessary.
Today was a pretty good day for me.
Yeah?
Because today was the day where the Metal Gear Solid Collector's Editions finally went on
sale
in North America. Yeah.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 Collector's Edition.
Can I just explain to you guys how close I was to just dropping $400 or $500 down on a Japanese import?
Oh my god.
Just saying, I don't give a shit. What is even life?
And you just have doing a problem. That's like the definition
I didn't do it. I didn't do it, but I wanted to real bad.
What I love about these stories is usually that Phil is two things. One, very, very opinionated when it comes to how developers handle pre-orders, collector's editions, microtransactions, any of that shit. And like, even if we spend an aggressive amount of money on stupid shit like that, but his justification for when it's Metal Gear is like, Metal Gear is the only franchise where I indulge myself, so I'm cool with it.
See, well, I mean, that's true. It's the only one where I just break all of my fucking rules. Like, you know what? I don't even care if there's Collector's Edition exclusive DLC. I don't give a fuck. I'm getting it anyway. Give a fuck.
It's when it's your kid, it's totally different. Other people's shitty kids doing shitty things, you make fun of them.
Well, listen, if my kid wants to throw crayons at the waiter, he's going to.
Fuck you, waiter. Fuck you. No, but it's kind of like, you know, I don't like that every developer's trying to do that every time, but like I have so much Metal Gear stuff, and it's really the only series that I do that for. Outside of Zelda, which I have like a few like little tchotchke bullshit things for. Like I bought the Hyrule Historia for some reason. I don't know. Like I don't really do it that often. And like the English one, the one from North America, it's only like $100. So I'm like, okay, fine. You know, like if I'm spending $40 extra just to have like, I don't know, a nicer box or whatever. Metal Gear games don't come around that often, so it's not like I'm buying the Call of Duty Collector's Edition every year over here.
Yeah.
To know people who do that.
Plus, like, if it really comes down to it, like, collector's editions are meant for that kind of people, like, just want to spend something nice, because, like, hey, I really love this thing, I want more of this thing.
They're meant for established franchises that already have a fan base that would love to see something like that. Not like Watch Dogs. You get the iconic hat. Like, what?
Yeah, how's it already iconic?
That was stupid. Yeah.
Or like Titanfall, where they like fucking off the jump $250 collector's edition with a stupid statue that you can get for like $40 now.
Yeah, that's such a good point. How do you why would you drop $250 on something you don't even know if it's good yet? Like, I guess you have the same argument about like a Metal Gear Solid, but it's like I'm pretty sure.
Well, at that point, you at least like don't know like there's a certain like status Metal Gear has now. Like, a Metal Gear's collector's item is going to have value because we know Metal Gear's value to some extent is it's a really good gaming franchise. Like, if Final Fantasy 15 has a collector's item, it's still like it's motherfucking Final Fantasy. Whereas if Bloodborne is coming out with a collector's item, and me and you, Chris, for instance, are probably more excited for that game, it would still be like, who cares? It's fucking Bloodborne. It's a new thing, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, at least with like Bloodborne, okay, yeah, it's kind of a new franchise.
Demon's Souls,
you know. But like, its collector's edition is like $80 with an art book and like the soundtrack, which is what Demon's Souls was. Like, so I don't think that's crazy. Like, I think like, you know, 20 extra bucks. You get a couple little things, maybe special box steel books, whatever the fuck. Like that's fine. Like that's totally cool. But like these like extravagant $400-500 Borderlands the Handsome Edition, fucking like what the fuck is that shit? Who the hell wants that? Like I don't understand that. I don't understand the market for that. Then again, I mean like the difference between like the North American and the Japanese, you know, MGS5 collector's edition is that like the Japanese one has like a full size Big Boss arm, and the North American's like half size. But like even over there, like when you translate the currencies, it's still $268 just for just for that shit regularly. And it's like, if that came over here, would I buy it? Probably not. To be honest with you, probably not. No, okay. So if it was the only collector's edition available, maybe.
Yeah, but come on, let's be real. Then I just fight with
my wife for.
The PS4 though, the fucking red.
I don't really like the look of it, to be honest with you. I like the look of that controller though.
Oh,
that controller is looking sexy though.
Honestly, I was thinking about just buying that console and that gamepad. I was really liking the look of it.
Yeah, I'm liking that gunmetal on that controller. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the cool thing about the PS4 is that it's got, you know, those hard drive plates, and they sell, you know. There's people that like etch them and, you know, do crazy shit with them. So like I'm thinking like maybe I'll get like one that's Metal Gear at some point. Like face plates. Remember face plates? They were a thing.
Oh, that was a thing back when consoles were cool.
I had a blue one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. And I also had one that was like 360 Day Zero thing.
Oh, right.
I sold it for a lot of money. You know, like $150 for that thing.
Yeah.
Fucking piece of plastic. What an idiot.
The reason why Metal Gear goes perfectly well with our today's topic is that today's show is because our whole Zelda podcast plans went through because William decided to not text me back, that piece of shit. Anyway, hope you're hearing that, you piece of shit.
It would be like doing a Metal Gear podcast without Philip.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
What are you doing there? What are you doing?
Yeah, I guess.
It's like doing a remake and remastered podcast without someone who buys remakes and remasters a bunch.
Do you really buy remakes and remasters a bunch?
No, I don't really, but I guess I have in the last year or so.
I mean, you know, at that point we already... Anyway, the moral of the story is that we've already got our podcast plans lined up for basically the next few weeks. Today's, though, is what we're excited about in 2015, what we're looking forward to maybe cautiously in 2015, and me having one doubt that is starting to become like, okay, what's going on here that we're going to talk about. So really it's going to be about just gaming in 2015 as a go. Reason why we didn't do that in January or February, besides the fact that we're fucking lazy, is because with the exception of Resident Evil 4 and that 1 year Mass Effect 2 and Bayonetta came out in January, most shit doesn't happen in this industry in January and February except for like award season, motherfucking GDC,
PAX East,
Paxamania, which was amazing, by the way.
Pack's amazing.
Calm down. I have to go.
Wow. Just gonna start right there. Anyway.
Yeah, why not? I mean, really.
But, like, let's get the obvious one out of the way. I said this right after playing Ground Zeroes. I think I said this first on the podcast, maybe not, but I said, hear me now, believe me later, Metal Gear Solid 5 will be the best game of its year because it's Kojima-proof as a game. And
I mean, all right, so we're saying, like, Kojima-proof, but come on.
Listen, I love Kojima's games as much as, well, not as much as you at this point, but, like, there are things he does that does turn me off some games, though. Like, I like
gameplay-wise are usually,
Usually he's on point there, but what I'm saying is, like, his last outing maybe wasn't a Kojima issue as much as, like, as you said, like, that game had development hell. It wasn't the same kind of, like, passion project for him, right? Because, like, at that point, like, he
didn't want to make it.
Yeah, like...
Just didn't want to work on it.
Like, that one was literally for the fans, because it was literally like, listen, I'm just going to give you all the answers you want, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, but... I'm just saying, like, it's the type of game where, like, if... What I'm trying to say when I say Kojima-proof, besides, like, the obvious shit, and downplaying Kojima, is, that I think the gameplay is, regardless of what the fuck happens with the story, going to be divine. Because it feels like it's got great game feel already. Mm-hmm. Or, if you're an errant signal person, it's kinesthetically appealing, right? Whatever.
Oh my god, shoot me.
It's kinesthetic.
Speaking of which, what are you more of? Do you use the word game feel, or do you just not use a word?
I've said game feel before.
Feel
it's a really good catch-all term for, like, how a game
it's like it's a good thing. But I mean,
kinesthetically pleasing is like fucking just go.
Yeah,
no.
well, I mean, the wording he uses is
get out of here with your $10,000 Apple Watch.
Yeah, but yeah. Hey, I at least like that someone went into another direction with it. Plus, I like that guy. He makes good videos, except for the last two being wasted on Destiny.
No problem with that guy outside of the Destiny videos.
Yeah. Exactly. He's so awesome, though. I love his work. Anyway, what I was trying to say is, like, it feels really good. Like, control-wise, it's tight. I mean, whatever. Somebody's gonna say it's, like, just modernized controls. Whatever. The point is, like, Metal Gear feels, like, really good just moving and shooting and stealthing. And then, like, the fact that they're going in, like, the most obvious direction, but, like, the direction that I feel like is a bit long overdue at this point, where they're giving you this big toy box, this sandbox to just fuck around in, which Metal Gear's always sort of been going that direction since Metal Gear Solid 3, and then, like, the opening acts of Metal Gear Solid 4. Only this time, if they keep Metal Gear Solid 5 in the sandbox and not, like, have it narrowed down at the end to, like, these bland linear corridors, that game's gonna kick all kinds of ass.
I mean, there will probably be some corridor-ish parts.
Yeah, but, like, there's gonna be there's a difference between going to a facility versus we just completely dropped it.
There's just going to be, like, way more gameplay in there. I mean, if you look at, like, Peace Walker, which is probably the most directly, comparable. Like, the issue with Peace Walker wasn't the amount of content. Like, it had a lot of content. The issue was that, like, the level design wasn't there because of, the hardware limitations.
Everything was just compartmentalized.
And, like, the boss fights were shitty because they were all shitty.
Yeah.
And
it had a Monster Hunter grind. You went silent as soon as I said Monster Hunter grind. I mean, I don't...
He had heart failure.
Yeah, Monster Hunter grind. Fuck that game. It doesn't seem like the Phantom Pain's gonna be the same thing. I'm sure you're gonna have to do, like, some kind of grinding if you want to get the best shit. Like you only really had to grind in Peace Walker if you really, really wanted, like, stupid shit like stealth camo.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get, like, a lot of GMP for that, or if you wanted, like, the best soldiers and all this other crap. But I don't know. I don't think MGS5 is gonna be like that because there's so many different ways to get GMP, like invading people's fortresses and all that. So,
and then there's, like, the box technology, which is amazing.
Yeah, which you'll probably have to research. Like, I'm sure that stuff works very similarly to Peace Walker, which you have, like, an R&D department, and depending on how good your R&D guys are, like, that's going to be different.
What I think is crazy is that Ground Zeroes already felt like a pretty complete, like the gameplay mechanics felt very complete, but then I remembered a lot of the stuff that they showed in videos for the actual Phantom Pain. There's so much more to it. There's like the tagging and just like you can just like grab like a car and just like helicopter it away. That's so cool. Yeah, I forgot that.
Weapon customization.
Yeah.
You'll have your own custom loadout. Like, what? You know,
kidnap soldiers.
And I'm like super excited because like, whatever. If anyone's been listening to the last couple podcasts, or just like mildly listen to me bitch during, I don't know, Resident Evil 6 or anything. Like, I've been sort of down on open world games lately, but like, Metal Gear Solid 5 is a game that feels like, and I keep using, like, I want to specify, it's not that it's open world, it's that it's a sandbox. And there's a difference between the two. Like, open world...
It's hub world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
The open areas that you're going into are just going to be different every time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, different mission objectives and all that, so...
Whereas, like, freaking... Just Metal Gear just feels like we're not just being open for the sake of saying, look at how big our city is, but we're being open to, like, present, like, wider gameplay ideas at you. And, like, challenge you on what you're going to learn in that, because that's what Kojima usually does best, is, like, he will challenge you on shit you've learned about his game. You know, sometimes in weird ways. But,
what I also liked about Ground Zeroes is that you think, like, with the added technology of the tagging, like, you see someone and then they have kind of a reticule over them.
Mm-hmm.
You think that would make it easier, but to kind of offset that easy mode is that now the AI has 20/20 vision, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, sure, you always know where they are at any given time, but you can't kind of do the bullshit I always did in Metal Gear Solid, where you're basically hiding in their peripheral vision, and they can't see you magically. Whereas if you try that in Ground Zeroes, I constantly got fucked on my past behavior in Metal Gear games.
Well, there's gonna be like all kinds of stuff that will affect your missions. Like you can wait till it's nighttime, you know, and get like lower visibility, but like more guards, you know.
They have fucking patrol patterns.
Yeah,
they have shift changes and all kinds of stuff.
That's so cool.
It's just kind of crazy, like how much has been talked about with that game, but like how much we actually don't know.
Yeah,
about certain things.
What I also like about the sandbox is one thing in Metal Gear, I always felt like a sense of danger that at any given point, Revolve or Ocelot could just come onto the scene. Like, you know what I mean? Just especially in Metal Gear Solid 3 with the end and the pain and the fury and all them, it was just kind of a creepy feeling that they could be around any given corner. And I almost have to wonder how they'll play with the mystery of the open world. Because even when I was playing Ground Zeroes, like, there are so many, like, little Easter eggs and tidbits hidden throughout the world that I was like, I feel like at any moment I'm just going to bump into someone, like, big in the Metal Gear universe.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, there was some stuff like that in MGS4.
Yeah, even in MGS4, yeah.
Dude makes interesting games.
For sure.
Like, regardless of what you think about the story stuff, which is just anime bullshit. Like, it's not even that crazy when you put it in that context. Like,
yeah, they could be way worse.
Yeah, it's not exactly Dragon Ball Z, but I've been watching Dragon Ball Z lately because I've been playing Xenoverse.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good game.
Yeah, I actually hear nothing but positive things about that game.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. But
speaking of 2015 games,
dude, Metal Gear Online looks so awesome too. Well, sounds awesome, but
Metal Gear Online has always been good. It's just that, like, it's had a lot of, like, inopportune chances to shine. Like with MGS3 when they first introduced it, I was like, this is stupid. But I played it and I was like, holy crap, Metal Gear actually kind of works really well online. And then, like, in Portable Ops, like, that was good, but, like, hackers, like, kind of fucked that up.
Metal Gear Solid 4 had that obnoxious Konami sign-in.
The Konami thing, and then, like, patches that you download from Metal Gear Online, like, didn't download from PSN. They downloaded from, like, Konami's server after you, like, it was really fucking weird.
And it was the first, like... It was literally right after the holiday where COD4 came out. So at this point, like... This was, like, the beginning of COD becoming the thing. right? So like there were a lot of
the gameplay was good in MGS4's Metal Gear Online.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
It was good, but it just had all this surrounding bullshit that made it terrible. And then like Peace Walker, same deal. You had a lot of like cheaters and hackers and shit.
Yeah.
They haven't really talked about like co-op stuff that much in MGS5, but it's supposedly going to be there. I wonder if it's just going to work like Peace Walker. Basically, any side mission you could have co-op. Like you could have people come in, but then like most of the main missions, you can only have like 1 or 2 people, and like only one person could be Snake. So I wonder how they're going to do that.
Just have Kaz come with you on missions.
Well, it'll be like just like a random MSF soldier with a mask on or something.
Yeah.
It'll be Paz.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just
I don't
like
think she's coming back. Man.
I'm just excited for like honestly, I'm like super excited for multiplayer all over again. I don't know like what it, like Battlefield 4 suddenly has got me in like, man, I'm like excited to play multiplayer games again.
Ew, multiplayer games.
Fuck off. Anyway, but like Metal Gear Online, I feel like is going to be really good, and I think it's going to suffer from Last of Us multiplayer syndrome, which is like everyone's going to be talking about the excellent single player that they're going to be like, oh right, there was actually just really good, if not excellent multiplayer that came along with it. Which whatever. But I don't know. Does anyone want to lead with another game or?
I got you. Furious 7 DLC for Forza Horizon 2.
No, I mean, honestly, that DLC could be the most important thing in entertainment history if it just corrects the biggest wrong in cinema history ever. Just like that game needs to have Vin Diesel and The Rock in it, so this time The Rock can beat Vin Diesel and retcon that bullshit ending.
The Rock probably won't be in it because his car is not iconic in the Fast and Furious universe, multiverse.
The Rock.
You see, Furious 7 takes place after Tokyo Drift.
The
it's the first one after that one.
The extended universe is non-canon.
The Rock's eyebrow is more iconic than anything Vin Diesel ever did. So the fact that The Rock had to put Vin Diesel over is insane.
Vin Diesel single-handedly developed the best game ever, Escape from Butcher Bay.
By himself.
In his basement.
Yo, he learned computer programming and fucking did the whole thing.
He learned it from the movie Hackers, and then he went on.
Let's completely ignore Starbreeze.
The
people who would go on
they
to
made
make...
Brothers. No.
They
also made The Darkness.
He put them over.
Vin Diesel made The Darkness too.
He made The Darkness as well, apparently. And Wolfenstein. He left Starbreeze and made Wolfenstein.
Yes, he did. I mean, he's got a really lucrative career.
Starbreeze is synonymous with Diesel. It's his pseudonym.
Yo, I don't care. Vin Diesel kicked out of the rock bottom. That's bullshit. Anyway.
What? Hey.
Can you lead us with a new game that's not,
The Furious 7 DLC.
It's gonna be free.
Game of the Gen.
Gonna have a Honda in it, I bet.
Let's talk about that Arkham Knight.
Oh man, Batman looks good.
I know Phil's excited for that tank.
Yeah. Oh, the Batmobile, the Batmo tank.
No.
Honestly, yeah, that's been really off-putting though. Like the tank, every time it gets really shown, it's like.
Then you have to use it in some puzzles. Like what?
Yeah, it just looks dumb.
Hopefully
that's like just the one thing. It's just one thing that caught me tripping.
I mean, I really hope it's just not more Batman because I don't want that.
See, okay, so now that I thought we were gonna save the negative parts, but
I think they're might have some Batman in a Batman game.
No, what I'm saying is, like, I hope they do some interesting shit and just not, like, carbon copy the combat system again.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. We just came off of Metal Gear Solid 5, but, like, we can point to things in Metal Gear Solid 5 that feel like an evolution of things in Metal Gear, and not like, oh, they made more Metal Gear. The things that look good about Arkham Knight, when you look at Arkham Knight's footage, is like, that's a better-looking Arkham City.
The graphics.
Visually.
The graphics are beautiful.
Gotham looks cool.
Dude, it looks so...
There are roads, but they couldn't figure out how to do cornering, so they just made you a hover tank.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, the best thing I'm excited about Arkham Knight is that it's, like, it's an actual next-gen game and not this cross-gen bullshit.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's appealing. I don't think the world would be as large if they did the...
Yeah, no, that's a studio bullshit. That they've been very upfront about what they're trying to, like, they're gonna do the game they want to make, and they're
Warner
making it.
Warner in general has a pretty good mindset on that. They're like, listen, if there's a last gen version, there is, but it's not gonna be what you want.
Yeah.
Well, Mortal Kombat X, who's gonna play it on 360? I hope nobody. Like Shadow of Mordor's PS3 and 360 versions look like trash.
Dude, they can only fit like 5 orcs on screen.
And like,
it's terrible.
Yeah. And it's like a gimped version of the Nemesis system because they're like, well, the old ones couldn't run it, so we...
It doesn't even exist.
Yeah,
it's just like a set story. It's weird.
It's really fucked up.
That's what I like about Rocksteady. They're like, we're not even going to waste resources on the 360 PS3 version. We're going to make the game we want to make. We're not going to compromise that game. And it's going to be M-rated, which, like, in video games is like, yeah, you really went for the moon, guys.
Yeah, news of that came out, and then like I saw it, and I'm like, why is this even like? Wait, Batman wasn't M-rated already? Oh, yeah. Wow, weird.
And it's like
in movies, like, oh yeah, you don't want to get an R rating if you want like the mass appeal. But in games, it's like, no, you want an M rating because GTA has an M rating, and
like, if anything, gamers seem to flock to the M rating thing. Like, hyperviolence is video games in a lot of ways, and I don't know. I guess the thing you just brought up about not wanting it to be more Batman. So let's get into a broader thing because we'll get a little negative about 2015 before we get excited again. I'm writing this thing right for our website. You can check it out at endlessbacklog.com. Hope it'll probably be written by the time I actually like edit this podcast.
So in a few weeks.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why. This is exactly why the recording process has changed. So now when I say this shit, things will actually be up. Anyway.
Endless Slack log?
Yeah, endless Slack log, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's funny because it's true.
Yeah. And, whatever, I didn't come up with a better title then, but the one I went with was the new IPs look like the old IPs. And when you think about some of the new IPs this gen has had to offer, I'm going to start naming you, and I guarantee you the knock I throw at them, you're not really going to disagree with. Destiny, for starters, is Bungie shooting in a Borderlands game. I mean, like, cut it dry. Watch Dogs is the Ubisoft formula, but in a city. Which, okay, the
Modern
evil within the evil within a game I like is poor man's Resident Evil 4. And not any game would look bad in comparison to Resident Evil 4. No, it's just ideas they came up with a decade ago they did shittier.
Poor man's Silent Hill Homecoming.
Get the fuck out. Anyway, why do you have to do this? Anyway, the Order now, the Order, like, that's not like a super like big IP knockoff, but it's predictable third-person shooting.
Gears of War.
Yeah, and then like Dying Light, which is a good game allegedly this year, is Dead Island but good.
It's a pretty good step up.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a step up, but like even the other stuff like Titanfall was every bit Call of Duty with Max and parkour.
And then Call of Duty comes out and people prefer that anyway.
That was so funny. Oh
and it did like the parkour shit like better.
No, I disagree. But let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. Evolve is take the tank thing from Left 4 Dead and make a game out of it. But like there's a whole lack of new, and like some of the games we were name dropping that were AAA games before when we were doing the preliminary for this podcast was like, hey, that's a sequel, that's a sequel, that's a sequel, that's a sequel. And I would argue only Metal Gear feels like it's actually doing something interesting with its franchise.
Well, yeah, when we were looking back and we originally hailed this year as kind of this gen's 2007, because that was the first year of last gen that felt like the big surgence of these are the big games, and this is what
it
next
was
gen
year
is all
2
about.
of the next gen systems. Yeah,
so that's what this year kind of is, except the big distinction is that all the games from 2000, pretty much all the games, were new IPs that paved the way for everything that gen was about, whereas all the big games from this year are all sequels from games from last gen.
Yeah, or a few gens ago.
I mean, you had that last gen too.
Yeah, like let's not front. 2007 also had Halo 3, Super Mario,
Galaxy.
And
like if I'm not mistaken, they were on Call of Duty 4.
Mass Effect. It had BioShock. It had Assassin's Creed. Like
Portal,
Guitar Hero 3.
Rock Band.
Yeah, Rock Band was a big one.
Like, that was a Trump year for both old franchises and new franchises. Where this year, the new franchises are either all tanking or indie games, which nothing against indie games.
Yeah.
And all the big games are sequels.
Yeah, and it's like I'm very pro indie games, and I'm like very pro indie games. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I don't remember which podcast we did it on, but I think Phil, you said it best. Is like it being a $60 game does mean something about it matters more, because it's like this is when that, like, the beauty of what the indie game is supposed to do is eventually come up with an idea that someone in the AAA space is going to make into like this big all-time classic, right?
It's how it's worked in the past, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I'm really hoping E3 kicks all kinds of ass, because like I'm looking at some of these AAA games coming out this year, and it's like Batman is more Batman, Witcher is more Witcher. That's an established formula, let's be fair. Bloodborne, which is looking like the big new hype that we're excited for in a few weeks. Let's cut the bullshit. It's Demon Souls 4.
Yeah.
Right? It's Demon Souls 2.
No, it's Demon Souls 4.
Demon Souls 4. I'm basically throwing Dark Souls.
I don't know. I think there's like enough there. They're actually mixing it up and taking some chances.
I agree.
It's a spiritual successor.
It's a good sequel. Like,
yeah, it's a good way to do it. Yeah. But here's what I'm saying. Like, there's the Metal Gear Solid 5 Bloodborne half of good sequels. And then some of these other ones are like the Bayonetta 2 branch, which I love. Bayonetta 2 won Game of the Year.
I think The Witcher 3 is making a good step.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, they're going fully open world. They were kind of just...
Why don't we talk about The Witcher 3 then? Let's go from Witcher 3 here.
Yeah. Witcher 3 looks good. I think Witcher 3... one of the things that I don't like about The Witcher 2 is that despite the story trying to have this huge scope, you always feel like you're in very confined areas, and like you're not able to leave until like that chapter's done and all that other crap. And like, you know, The Witcher 3, it seems like, yeah, you've got like this main story, but you can just go wherever the hell you want to go on your little quests, or, you know, to go hunt wyverns or whatever the hell. Whereas like it felt weird in The Witcher 2 when I'm like over here trying to solve this curse of the king or whatever the fuck. Like, okay, well, I'm not dealing with that today. I'm just gonna go hunt some rot fiends or something. Yeah. You know, and that felt weird because like the story encapsulated you in these like really tiny, you know, not really tiny, but like these closed off worlds, and like you, unless you advanced the story, you couldn't go anywhere else. And like The Witcher 3, you can. So I think that's like a big move in the right direction for them. And like, I don't care what anybody says, if you take a normally corridor, you know, level by level game and then make it open world, that is going to be a huge adjustment. Like, you can see with the amount of delays that game had, like, they really underestimated, you know, what that would be, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny that The Witcher, the whole idea of The Witcher is he's a monster hunter, but for some reason I never got that from, like, the early, like, hunting monsters was always tied to some quest, whereas for this one, a lot of it does seem like, oh, I'm just on the trail of this wyvern, yeah.
It's like Samus the bounty hunter, but I think
in a lot of ways the first Witcher is more like that than the second. The second one, because they're painting this narrative here,
focusing more on the story.
And then it's like, well, I guess I could go hunt some ghosts or something while I'm supposed to be clearing my name.
Yeah.
I get well, I guess I have to like kill the octopus monster that lives in the swamp, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
This is kind of off topic, but yeah, it just reminds me. I'm playing Far Cry 3, and he's like, I gotta save my friends. And then I'm like, but first, I'm gonna play poker for a while. It's like... so
yeah, but
funny.
even that's like, that's side stuff, but like, what I'm talking about is like, these side quests are like ultimately distracting. It's not just something like the player can choose to engage in. It's like something that like, canonically he might have done. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it weird. It'd be like if there was like an actual side quest in Far Cry 3 while you're trying to like free all your friends from like slavery. If there was one that was like, okay, well you need to collect 5 Komodo dragon hides
to build something. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so it's just strange.
Especially because of like the value that franchise puts on like not only side quests because of like the impact it has on your character builds, but like also like the plot, like because of the choices you make in that game is so important.
Who Geralt is, as a person, like
me and Phil at this point have waxed plenty of poetics about how The Witcher handles choice and consequence. Like, it's one of the best franchises in that department.
It is very nuanced, very subtle the way it does it. So.
Hopefully Witcher 3 continues that.
Yeah, and that's not what I'm worried about. I don't know. I guess...
Doesn't even need to for me. If I can just go on some dragons, I'm good.
Hunting dragons.
Yeah.
Can't.
Yeah. And then there's, like, the other sequel that's, like, Uncharted 4, right? Like, Last of Us is terrific.
Yes, it was.
Well deserving of when we called it 2013's best game of the year.
It was okay, I guess.
It was only your number one.
I mean, it was basically just a bunch of cutscenes and QTEs, so...
Yeah.
Basically.
And shitty-ass cinematic walking. Yeah, exactly. But,
I love The Last of Us for anybody listening.
Yeah. And I like Uncharted 2 a lot, and I know... No, both of you like Uncharted 2 a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so yeah.
Best of Gen 7.
Uncharted 2 kicks ass, and then, like... Uncharted 4 is making, like, the obvious direction shift in terms of, like, how it's handling its encounters from, like, what they did in Last of Us, right? Like, it was pretty visible when they were showing, what was that PlayStation thing called this year?
PlayStation Live?
PlayStation Experience.
PSX, yeah. PlayStation Experience. And, like, you saw that the encounters would be a little bit more free-form with the stealth and shooting and... more open, a little bit more binary in their design. Yeah, more vertical as opposed to, like, the very scripted, heavy action, very, like, directed thing that Uncharted 3 was. And that's positive, but I'm still looking at it and going, I'm like, yeah, but you did that in your last game. And I understand
sort of.
Yeah, but like, I understand I'm also the asshole who said when we gave it Game of the Year, I was like, yeah, after this, Naughty Dog can make whatever the fuck they want that's boring and predictable, so long as that eventually funds... the next, like, Last of Us type game where they really, like, aim for the home run.
Well, Uncharted 4 looks good. I mean, it looks like they're heading in the right direction, whereas, like, I think with The Last of Us, they did a really good job of creating interesting and intricate levels for you to kind of, like, move through. Like, you can play that game over and over again and still, like, do different routes, you know, when you do it, especially like in the little town when it's all snowy, and in Pittsburgh, there's some areas there, and I think like you can't jump in The Last of Us, you know, so there's no verticality to The Last of Us besides like, I don't know, finding a ladder or going up some stairs. I think like being able to have these environments where you can kind of be a monkey basically and just kind of parkour everywhere and like use your whip. Yeah, use the whip thing. Like that's cool. And like if they had just shown this one section without The Last of Us being in the conversation at all, like pretend that didn't exist, I'd be like, yeah, that's probably like one part of that game. I don't know. But The Last of Us like did have like a lot of those little areas, so I'm hoping they can do the same here, because that'd be cool. I just think it'd be fun to play. I don't know.
See, this is why I needed to do this podcast with you two and not William, because I feel like all my, like...
He would shut it all down.
Yeah, all my doubt... No, he would, like, enable all my doubting right now. I'm not even joking. Like, I went from thinking, like, 2015... Like, I was on board with 2015 is going to be this beast year, and then all of a sudden I've been going, I'm like... Why the fuck are we comparing it to some of these other years? Which I don't think is a good thing to do in general, but, like, even then I'm just going, like... I feel like we're just doing 2014 round 2.
No, it's a pretty beast year. Not even.
Yeah, there's... You know, it doesn't seem... Like, even looking at our list here, it doesn't seem like it until you start talking about what these games are and what they look like. Because I think in our old age, we're starting to get a little complacent.
Yeah.
Maybe for you guys. I'm still young.
You're getting up there, Chris. Don't worry. Next year, you're going to be like 23 or 4.
Aren't you like a teacher? I don't want to hear it. You're older than us just because of that.
Oh, yeah. Now you're Mr. Feeney.
Mr. Feeney.
Mr. Feeney over here with the glasses.
And,
yeah. All right, well, what else? What we got here?
Well, there's the exciting Halo 5.
Oh, you know what comes out tomorrow, though?
What?
Hotline Miami 2. Yeah, buddy.
You mean what's out already at
the 2012 hit?
Well, I was gonna say, like, you know, like, everyone listening to this has already played Hotline Miami 2, so, like, it's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I still probably wouldn't have played it.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I'm probably gonna be playing it by then, but, like, I love Hotline Miami 1. That was a good fucking action game.
It took 3 years, almost I guess like 2.5 years for that game to come out.
Yeah, no, they took their time.
It doesn't seem like it, but yeah.
Those games are that first game is surprisingly dark in a way that I wasn't paying attention when I was getting my ass kicked in that game, right? Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, whatever. At that point, I just wasn't really following the story because I'm shallow and need voice actors. But I read something my buddy Towers wrote, and I started replaying it again, and I'm like, holy fuck, this game's about rape and shit.
Yeah.
Rape and shit.
Yeah, like, this game is really, like, fucking, like, topics that would be, well, I don't think they're getting taboo at this point. Like, I think gaming's finally, like, sort of just, like, talking about this shit, but, like...
Oh, well, there's, like, there's sexual violence in this new one. At the beginning of the game, it asks you, you know, if you want to turn that off, like, if you don't want to be triggered or whatever. But, like, yeah, they got a little bit of flack about that. That's why they add that filter, because they're like, okay, well, we understand that, like, this is the story we want to tell, and we don't want to compromise that, because this is our vision for this game. So what we'll do is we'll just make it so, like, if you don't want to see that stuff, that's fine. Like, it's kind of like Brutal Legend at the beginning. Like, it says, you know, hey, do you want to turn the content filter on or off? Yeah, the gore, and then the language thing.
Yeah, well, my thing was, my thing with that is, I'm hoping it's something... Tasteful is the wrong word, because there's nothing about it that's tasteful, but, like, the best works that do that type of shit eventually have something meaningful that comes out of it.
The implication's still there, it just, like, fades to black.
Yeah. Instead. I don't want... What I'm trying to say is, like, I hope the scenario isn't fucking no rush in Modern Warfare 2, where it's just like, no, this was just violence for the sake of violence. Whereas I think Hotline Miami is a very violent game, and it does have a lot of violent themes in it, and there's a point to it all at the end.
Right. Well, I think when you put, like, these scenes that have a lot of gravitas to them, you need to kind of make sure that it will, like, complete. You need to make sure it's not gratuitous. Unless, I guess, that's just the game you're making, which is, like, by all means, but I don't think I'll play it, you know? But I don't know. The Hotline Miami guys, they seem to know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, they do.
Like, I have some faith in them.
They got style, they got great music, and they're, like, what the people who are making that shitty-ass hatred game should, like, aspire to be.
Well, they can't because they're neo-Nazis.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Alright, next up. You know what comes out next week, though? Final Fantasy Type 0.
Yeah! Hopefully the Final Fantasy that doesn't suck.
The delivery method for the Final Fantasy 15 demo.
It's like Crackdown, the Halo 3 beta.
Pretty much.
You know, Final Fantasy Type 0 originally started as one of the Final Fantasy 13 spin-offs. The Fabula Nova Crystales bullshit. But then they made it into a PSP game, but it only came out in Japan and never hit over here. So they're doing a remaster, and I don't know. Apparently, it's really good. So I don't know. I'm getting it. So, I don't know.
What's it for?
15 looks good. PS4, Xbox One.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it comes out next week.
Nice.
By that, you get the demo for Final Fantasy 15, which is like what most people are talking about. But I'm actually pretty if it's a good Final Fantasy game, I'm excited to play it because of that. It is made by Tabata, who is heading up Final Fantasy 15. And
so it gives you an idea of what to expect with the Backstreet Boys on a road trip.
Like the combat and stuff like that. What to expect of that. And the 15 demos included with it, and I think you can download it that day. But I watched the PAX. No, was it PAX or GDC? I think it was PAX. The PAX demonstration on 15 the other day.
Oh my god!
It looks like they know what the hell they're fucking doing.
It looks crazy.
Like, it looks like they understand what people have not liked about the past entries. Like their world building. Their world building is like on point this time.
Yeah, no kidding. I just love the way like
so.
Drop ships come down and the soldiers pile out. Oh man, it looks so cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. So
good music.
Yeah. Oh my god. Some of the samples like are just what. Mm-hmm. And then Jason Schreier over at Kotaku, he wrote a preview for Final Fantasy 15 based on what he played. Right. And under the music section, he's like, "It's fucking amazing. That's all you need to know." It's like, okay, sure, yeah.
It's kind of a weird comparison, but Final Fantasy 15 kind of reminds me of Phantom Pain. It's almost at this point like, how could it fail, really?
Well, I don't think it's quite at that point, but I think it's like they're saying the right things, they're showing the right things to kind of restore faith. They're kind of building this back up because, good God, is that brand damaged at this point?
Kind of like with Zelda, kind of like Zelda, where
to a worse extent, but yeah.
Well, I feel like all three of them are sort of in that same weird group where, like, their last major console outing, Metal Gear Solid 4, Final Fantasy 13, Skyward Sword. Only one of those games is actually a good game, by the way. It's Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 4.
Well, I think Metal Gear Solid 4 gets a lot more hate on internet forums than it does
in real life.
Yeah, whatever. But, like, in general, but the general idea is, like, they sort of did things that left you a little... Like, you expected something better from those franchises, and their last outings were one of their weaker ones, all things considered. And, like, this next one looks like, all right, baby, it's a return to form. Zelda's a bit more of a question mark still, because, like, we still haven't seen it on a proper,
saw
display.
A horse run into a tree.
Yeah, we did.
I like the bow and arrow stuff. That looks badass.
I like that you can launch off your horse and then shoot things with the bow and arrow in slow motion. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's let's add bullet time to Zelda. All right.
You know what? I don't even care. That's good.
At this point,
hey, listen, hero of time, bitch.
Yeah,
the hero of bullet time now.
Hero of bullet time.
I'm down for it. But do you think Final Fantasy 15 makes it into 2015 or no?
No, I think it's 2016, probably around this time.
But there's
that makes sense.
But there's this great symmetry of Final Fantasy 15 releasing in 2015.
Yeah, but there's this thing called reality, and
where it's just not going to make it.
It's just not going to happen. So I think they've done a good job of like focusing on their demo and getting that like out the door to just prove to people that this is a real game. It is happening now, because, there's a lot of doubt there. I think Type 0 is kind of getting pushed to the sidelines, even in our conversation. And I feel like that being a good Final Fantasy game, like, it probably needs to be talked about a little bit more. Maybe when it comes out and people play it, like, they'll understand. But,
that's a win.
Yeah. In a weird way, I think it fits the Metal Gear Zelda thing, because I would argue Link Between Worlds was sort of not talked about before it was coming out, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, fuck, they're just making another Zelda.
Yeah. And then it's called Link to the Past 2 in Japan. It's like, what?
And then it came out, and I'm like, yo, this is a really fucking good Zelda game. And Ground Zero.
Holy shit.
Ground Zeroes, I was like, Phil, you're insane. This is a fucking demo. And then after playing it, I'm like, Phil, oh my god, it's gonna be so good.
The whole time I'm thinking like, yeah, I gotta buy it because it says Metal Gear on the cover, but I don't know about this. And then I played it, and I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. I think there's a podcast actually where none of you guys have played it.
None of us understood.
And I played it, and you're not understanding. Like, no, you don't get it. You just don't get it.
You don't get it.
Amazing. This is really good. Like,
this plays so well.
Besides, this year already has a big JRPG, so we don't need Final Fantasy 15 this year.
Well, before we get to Persona, I just want to say one last thing about Final Fantasy. This is like the most important thing that's like about the Final Fantasy 15 discussion for us. So like when they showed what like the setup for Final Fantasy 15 would be, like, I know my boy band history enough to know that 4 members of a boy band would be more like 98 Degrees and not Backstreet Boys.
You need like 6.
But like saying 98 Degrees on a road trip just feel... First of all, it's like the hipster boy band. It's not even like the popular one, right? So like for an analogy's sake, it sucks. And second of all, it doesn't roll off the tongue the way saying Final Fantasy 15's plot is.
Are you going to explain your insult? Is that what you're doing right now? You're pontificating on like the logic behind you saying Backstreet Boys even though there's only 4 people. Like, do you think that is valuable information that anyone needs to know? What are you doing?
Are we pretending it's not?
Sure, fine.
It's like, Phil, you've already lost one thing. You're gonna lose this one to me too. Like, go, Phil. You must pander to my audience.
Ruin the Backstreet Boys like that, but okay.
I
thought you were excited for Final Fantasy 15.
No, I'm excited for Final Fantasy.
So yeah,
I kind of wish one of the dudes was actually not a dude and a girl instead.
You never know.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
There is
Cindy Atlas's book
or Sydney. Sid is a female in this game.
Yeah.
So of course they had to put her in a tube top, but that's okay, I guess.
It's fine. It's
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, coming from Mr. Metal Gear, where Quiet's rocking,
Nothing.
It's fine. I said, listen, it is okay to like that sort of thing. Okay. It's fine to like that sort of thing. I just wish that there was more diversity in the
Gentlemen, Persona 5 looks grand.
Oh my god, that trailer. Oh.
It looks so fucking stylish.
like
in the Giant Bomb most stylish game category, that game wins every time. It's got style. Like, holy shit.
That
trailer. Like the concept.
That game's got swagger. Like,
this game's got moxie.
It's got moxie.
It's got moxie, kid.
I like the setup that they're cat burglars.
It's fucking crazy.
With the heavy it's not even that they're burglars.
Chandeliers don't work like that.
Yeah, that's great. No, fuck that. I'm glad chandeliers work like that again.
They don't work like that.
No, fuck you.
I played Resident Evil 4. They don't work like that.
Listen. The one thing, like, you know how when you say they don't make games like that anymore, right? Like when you talk about older games, they really don't make games like the PS2 era when like there were action adventure games. Almost all of them had you using swords or some kind of ghetto platforming, and you use the chandeliers as like a platforming thing because you swing it back and forth to jump across.
I'm pretty excited.
I'm glad it's making a comeback in Persona 5.
It's fucking real dumb. It's real dumb. There are also like rooftops and all kinds of crazy shit.
I got mad when I saw that they actually announced the date for Heist on GTA 5 because I love the joke that Persona 5 is going to get Heist before Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it's actually coming tomorrow as of this day recording. It'll be out by the time this is out.
Yes.
Like
allegedly it's coming. I don't know.
I hope it gets delayed until after Persona 5.
Wait, what's allegedly coming? GTA Heist or this podcast? Because I assure you, this podcast will be up in 2 weeks.
Heist is supposed to be out March 10th, so...
We should get, like, the last few GTA Heist jokes in before, like, like
that's
what we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, no, but Persona 5, the menus look crazy, the cutscenes look beautiful. I'm so excited.
I love the black, white, and red thing they got going on. It's
beautiful color
nice.
palettes. Yeah, and the trailer, that was the PS3 version I heard, so it's gonna look even better.
I don't think they said which one though. I know that Sony is completely footing the bill for the port to PS4. I do know that. That's how they're securing that it's not coming to anything. I think they knew. They're like, listen, this is a really cool game, and like maybe we should have done this for PS3.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like maybe we should have secured that. Like I think it's. I mean, they're kind of used to paying for ports for games anyway, since they do it for every Vita game that's come out by an indie.
And Street Fighter V these days.
Street Fighter V. Well, they're like completely funding the development of that game. Like
what an insane world we live in.
Yeah, that game's coming out next year, by the way. Ultra Street Fighter 4 comes to PS4 this spring.
Which means that somehow maybe me, Will, and Aljoso will find a way to say, we're not buying it, and then we bought it.
Yeah, bullshit. Will will be like, I'm reviewing it, and then like he actually doesn't get a review copy, but buys it anyway.
Yeah, Persona 5 is probably not coming out this year either.
No, fuck that.
I don't understand what your thought process of that
because
is.
I'm trying to keep my hopes low in case it actually does, and I shit my pants. Like, I'm going to be so excited. There's literally only one game at this point that can top Metal Gear Solid 5 for me, and it's Persona.
Well, let's not be crazy here. It already topped it for you because, like, you just said that your child better be able to do more than walking and talking to beat up Persona 4.
Yeah, better. Out of the gate.
Like, I love the pressure you put on your next future child. Like, I imagine Chris standing next to his child, like, showing, like, one copy of Persona 4 and Mass Effect 2 and going, listen, this is where you kind of are, maybe, and just like, this is where you're trying to get.
You haven't done anything even remotely as cool as Morden singing show tunes, so let's step it up a notch here, kid.
I don't know. My kid definitely shut off Mickey Mouse the other day to watch Dragon Ball Z with me.
Oh, shit.
So
that's approaching Space Batman.
Like, there's these little moments in Parenthood.
So, Allison versus Metal Gear Solid 2, Allison's finally taking the lead. Okay.
He goes quiet.
I think it would be, like, super irresponsible for me to say that a video game would outclass my child here
So, Chris,
on this
do you
public
understand?
podcast.
Yo, you see, I can do it because I don't actually have a kid yet, so...
Right.
That's
Well,
why
I understand. I totally understand. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I didn't hold Allison in my arms like the first 3 days she was alive and played through Bioshock Infinite, because I definitely did. But
You're like, I can't slow down, honey. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna say that like the first thing I said to her when she was born was, "God damn it, you should have waited till April 1st because Bioshock Infinite just came out."
Listen, kid. You're gonna have to wait.
Persona 5, man. I like the fact that they're going smaller cast than the last one. At least it feels like a smaller cast. Like,
Well,
I kind of want that.
They've only showed off 4, but I'm feeling a bit more.
Like before, like Persona 4 was out, they only showed off you and Yosuke and
Because there's always the first core crew, and then you start meeting more people.
Just like Persona 3 was the main character and Junpei and Yukiko. Or no, not Yukiko. What the hell is her name?
Wait, the original.
No, it's Yukiko.
The original.
No. Yukari.
Wait, the original Persona 4 crew had who again?
You, Chie, and Yosuke.
The first one's
fucking
kind of
Chie! Oh, God, that was a
Chie.
Chie is OG, son. She's the best one.
Too bad Marie is the
she's canon
waifu.
God damn.
They retconned her in.
They
She
did
wasn't even in the original.
So brutal.
Yukiko and Rise are superior, but we can move on.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. Like, what can top Persona Gagan hit me? The answer is nothing.
No, Metal Gear Solid 5, but we're not ready. We that
We already
conversation is
went over that one.
coming.
The superior JRPG Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I still need to play the first one. Jesus Christ, I forgot.
You don't really.
Yeah. As you can see, the excitement for Xenoblade here is still kept in check because Phil's still the only one here that's played it and he hates it.
Yo, but the trailers for Chronicles X look crazy.
They
yeah,
do
and then
look
you get
really
to
good.
the gameplay parts.
Well, you see, I'm not playing. I'm just looking at it right now.
Yeah. I was like,
I don't know.
think
I
it
hate
looks
the character design. I hate it. It
Yeah,
looks
that's
like the
fine.
most generic, like
It is a little,
ninth grader on DeviantArt fan pictures
it
I've
is a
ever
little
seen.
jarring. You see the environments and the mechs that they're in, and then the characters. You're like, what? That doesn't fit.
They look like generic, fucking like Tri-Ace Star Ocean 4 characters. Like, they're terrible.
What if like JRPGs kind of always had kind of lousy character designs? Because I kind of think they kind of always did.
Like, I feel like one of the things that I wouldn't knock Xenoblade Chronicles for would be its character design, so...
Yeah,
Damn!
you look at Persona, and they keep their character designs pretty
Because
natural.
Persona's
Pretty
an awesome
interesting,
series.
Yeah,
Because
It's
Persona
true.
is a good game.
it's true.
I don't know. Xenoblade Chronicles X is on a 720p system, so...
I mean, let me put it this way: if Zelda Wii
That
U,
filthy
Yeah.
garbage.
listen, if Zelda Wii U doesn't come out this year, Xenoblade's the Wii U game this year because I don't think Star Fox is really like. I'm sure
No.
Star Fox is gonna be really
Mario Party
good.
10.
Yeah, Mario Party 10. Get real, son. People are gonna lose friends this
It doesn't
year.
have online. The whole point of like it being it was
Okay.
supposed-
You're not gonna lose friends that you've never met before. It has to be people you fucking know in real life. That's the point. Why would they give it online? That's not what it's about.
That's what you're saying.
You have
is-
to look in the eyes of your friend as you take that
This
star.
is like the weirdest apologism for why it doesn't have
Let me get this
online
straight.
I've ever heard.
Wait, let me get this straight, Chris. You're saying that Mario Party's ability to ruin friendships is not an unintentional design decision, but
No.
one that Nintendo has been fully behind for the last decade?
They were playtesting it, and they're like, I just don't get the same enjoyment from stealing someone's star.
So wait
If
a second. You're gonna tell me that if you're playing this game with Aljosa and you
Yeah.
stole all his stars,
I
you
wouldn't
wouldn't feel
feel
some
bad.
satisfaction?
Nah, I wouldn't feel bad about Aljosa. I mean, like, someone that
No, I mean you're not it's not that you're feeling bad.
If it's someone I genuinely care about, I mean, let's be real.
You wouldn't feel the fuck you moment.
So
No.
wait. If
Then
you were
I'd be-
taking
as
all
I'm
this,
taking them, I'd be like, Street Fighter 4, bitch, do you remember? This is what that's all
Exactly. Now you can't do that though.
Yeah, because I don't get to see the twinkle in his eyes slowly fade.
Oh, so what you're saying
hold on a second. There's a camera on the Wii U pad.
Oh shit! Okay, that changes everything. If I could see
be like
him,
Burnout.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I was gonna say, I was like, so like you need El Josa on the same couch as you so you can watch the.
I literally like slowly, like as the wheel is spinning over who you're gonna steal a star from, I like time it and then I slowly look to El Josa and be like A button, and then it's just on Mario's face, and all of his stars come to me.
Man, El Josa would be playing as Mario, wouldn't?
And
he?
I go,
no, piece of shit, yeah. No, that's not the hipster pick,
Mario.
though. Like, what's the hipster pick for Mario Party? I don't think it's Waluigi anymore.
No, Waluigi's my ish. I have the same build as him, like physically.
my ish.
My ish, he says. Like, I don't know, like Daisy.
Yeah, no, it's Daisy. It's
he's a Daisy person.
Yeah, Daisy and Donkey Kong. Because Donkey Kong is the troll pick.
Wait, Donkey Kong's in Mario?
He was in Mario Party 3.
How is it Mario Party with Donkey Kong in there?
Man, it's like, why don't they just call Super Smash the thing? Super Smash Party.
Super Smash Kart.
Just be done with it. Take Mario off the box.
I'd be into that. I don't know.
Mario just has an eclectic group of friends.
But better than having 8,000 fucking Koopa kids. Oh my god.
Yo, question.
Baby Mario. Who the fuck wants to play as Baby Mario?
Why the fuck would Mario invite Waluigi and Wario to his party? Like, that's like inviting...
Yeah.
Why is he inviting Bowser?
Yeah, that's
come
like
on. That's the one you went with?
Your creepy uncles to the
it's
party.
It's like inviting like your girlfriend's ex.
Yeah, it's like, why would you do that?
Which he did. He invited Daisy to the same party with Peach there.
Yo, Peach is gonna be so
he
mad.
Invited his ex-girlfriend. He's like...
And now he's gonna be inviting Rosalina and shit. And
what
come
a
on,
fucking douche.
And
Mario's
Luigi's
kind of a
just standing there.
jackass.
It's like, couldn't you share the wealth, bro? Like, I don't get anybody.
I always thought like it was implied that like maybe Daisy hooked up with
Luigi
afterwards. Yeah.
Like, because she settled.
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah, she's like, I married the wrong brother.
Yeah, I guess.
But he went on to become a Ghostbuster.
He had his own mansion, or 3.
2. No, wait, 3. Wait, no.
How many mansions did he have in
2?
Luigi's Mansion 2?
Oh, right. He has like...
Yeah, he has more than one. It's like 5 or something.
Yeah,
there should be an M-rated Mario Party where they actually just all get drunk and just like racial slurs get dropped. Because you know Mario's Italian. You know.
Oh my god, this went to a dark place.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now you're trying to like ruin the integrity of Mario and
You're
shit.
saying like Waluigi's a neo-Nazi or something? He's a developer on Hatred. I get it.
I like that our most anticipated games podcast, Mario Party 10, got the most love. So far.
I don't know about that, man. We talked about Metal Gear for like 20 minutes.
We talked about Metal Gear for a while.
Yeah, it's true. It's Metal Gear at number 1, Mario Party number 2.
Well, let's not list things on this podcast ever again, please.
Yeah,
let's not do lists anymore ever.
Yo, we best of Gen.
What? Yeah,
8.
Yeah, we have all the way until 2016 to do that.
Yeah, we don't have to do that now, ever, forever.
But
what else we got?
What else we got? No Man's Sky is allegedly exciting.
Oh man, I'm so excited to find out that guy was lying to me all along.
I'm glad that I've gotten you in on your own joke more than... Yeah. That's good. No, I really do want that game to turn out to be fun. Like, I want a game where you're exploring the universe. And
I mean, there's like dogfights. There is stuff to do. They've just like held it really close to the chest.
Yeah. But at the same time, I really like the joke where Chris said that guy doesn't look directly into the camera because he's a lying piece of shit.
The guy's shy, man.
Yeah,
like, come on.
I would be too if I was lying to millions of people.
You know, you're making a game. You're making a game in like your bedroom 1 minute, and then like all of a sudden Sony's calling you up, being like, "Yo, Adam Boyce calls you up and says, listen, I want you on stage. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me?" And then he's like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe."
Actually, no, honestly, the No Man's Sky trailers, I actually get like short of breath because it's just so seamless the way he takes off, goes into the atmosphere, goes into space, drops onto another planet, and it's like so fast and fluid. Oh man, I'm so excited for that game. I wouldn't even be mad if that's the only thing that game does. I'd probably only play it for like 2 weeks.
It's not, but I thought it was kind of cool how, like, you know, they made this kind of part of their press thing where they're like, listen, our universe has gotten so large, it's all procedurally generated, that in order to keep up and to make sure things like are going well, we actually built space probes that will go into the game and like find these planets and make sure they're not all fucked up for us. Like,
that's so cool.
To make sure they're not like glitching, you know,
if I
because we can't physically go find these planets and make sure that's, you know.
I wouldn't be mad if I dropped down on some like acid trip planet where just everything's tripping out so hard.
Yeah,
that'd be wonderful. I'd be like, guys, come to this planet. Nothing makes any sense. The walls are falling apart.
That is kind of cool, yeah. No, I hope that game turns out to be the real deal. Cause
I would not like that.
Yeah,
all through space. Would not be into that.
Yeah, maybe not that.
I don't know. I'm thinking like that game looks like it's gonna outprice the indie bracket, I believe. That game's got $40 written all over it.
Are you getting annoyed by that?
It's way too
Are you
big.
bothered that indie games are increasing in price?
No, I'm bothered that that they've stayed at $15 when some of them are clearly worth way more. Like, I think the Talos Principle at $30 is a good price for that.
Agreed.
You know, but then again, like, I see stuff like Going Home, and it's like $20 is a lot to swallow for
you're right. It's one of those like all games because it's like $60. Not all games should be $60.
But like Shovel Knight, like that's a $20 game if I ever seen one. At least.
Fuck yeah, Shovel Knight.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, if No Man's Sky is like $39.99, like I think that's probably a good price for it.
All right.
I think $60 is maybe.
I'll get this one out of the way. Dear God, please let The Witness release this year.
The Witness?
Like, please.
It's not gonna happen.
It's been way too long since John Blow released a game. His last one is one of my favorites. My favorite indie game. Which I guess that's getting tiring to say just keep it separately. But, like, it was such a great puzzle game. And, like, I keep getting really good puzzle games every year, so I can't like super complain because Antechamber was 2 years ago and Talos was last year, and the Swapper's really fucking good, and Fez was only a few years ago. But like, man, I really want The Witness to be like, just I want something to be that thing. Like, I feel like he's never gonna make that thing again, and it's like I'm setting myself up here, but like I want something to make me feel the way I felt
after Braid.
Yes, where I felt like I played this thing that like really did make me feel like a better person after I beat it because those puzzles were hard as fuck.
I'm smarter
got through it. Yeah.
Man, you're laying it on real thick.
That's
I really like the Braid.
That's what happens when you love the game.
I The Witness should come out this year. It should come out this year. It should have come out last year.
It wasn't ready last year.
I mean, you know, at some point he's gonna have to look at that and be like, you know, I've put so much money into this, I probably should fucking release it.
Yeah.
You know.
I trust that guy though. I like that game.
He's a good auteur, but I don't know.
Auteur? Is it auteur or is it auteur?
I don't know. I don't know which one. It's auteur.
It's
auteur.
Nice.
Yes.
Auteur. He's a great auteur. Like Axiom Verge.
Such a douchey thing to say about somebody. Sorry. It sounds so wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, a lot of that stuff is like, listen, Breaking Bad's a really good TV show, but The Wire is art. Like, come on. The very nature of that is douchey. But that doesn't mean I won't say it.
Wire art.
Axiom Verge is a good looking game that's like Metroid because Nintendo's never going to make Metroid again. Hyper Light Drifter. It's looking dope.
Nuclear Throne.
Nuclear Throne. That's a good looking game.
Looks cool. Hopefully it'll get a full release this year.
Yeah.
Then I can play it. The
Brad Muir side of Double Fine makes fun games. Because I like Iron Brigade.
It's Flambeer.
Wait, then what's Double Fine's game?
Double Fine...
Massive Chalice?
Massive Chalice. Oh, Broken Age 2, or Broken Age Part 2.
Yeah. Or AKA Broken Age, the retail version that we were waiting for to release part 2.
Broken development, more like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shit.
Yeah. Shots fired.
Just being snarky about shit that I shouldn't be snarky about because these are people's lives. But,
yeah.
You know. Life is Strange, episodes 2 through 5. 5 episodes? I sat down and played the demo version.
It's usually 5.
Life is Strange.
Did you like it?
Yes. If nothing else, there's like nothing else like that. It's very unique in what it is.
And its setting.
All right, so here's something I thought like while I was playing it. How many other games even have an actual classroom setting in them ever? It's not just like abandoned school bullshit.
Dude, time out. Is Victoria the biggest bitch in the world in that demo or what? Oh my
god, what a bitch!
What a bitch! Like, fuck that bitch!
Life is Strange, best Mean Girls game ever.
Dude, no, so I beat episode 1, I guess, whatever. Phil Fogg of GameUnder.net actually bought me the game and let me play episode 1.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was awesome. So shout out to him on that one. And I was expecting, like, oh, it's going to be an adventure game. It's going to be stupid. And when I was playing it, I was like, well, the lip syncing's bad. This is going to be fun. And, like, by the end of it, I came out going, like, this is actually... I'm, like, interested in this because I actually like that the setting is different from anything else I've played in a video game. The chick is, I can't, like, relate to her because I was a guy in high school, but, like, I buy everything she's saying because, like, that's American high school right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little sensationalized in certain spots, but, like, the fundamental ideas are... Yeah, no, that's what high school was like.
It actually made me want to go back and play Remember Me just for the story stuff because it's the same people.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like the beginning gameplay stuff in that game, but maybe I'll go back to it because like, it does apparently do some interesting things with the story, so check that out.
Yeah, so I'm actually, like, I'm more excited about playing out Life is Strange. And you know what it is? Life is Strange has... less gameplay, I feel like, than The Walking Dead, and that in some weird way is making me enjoy it more because I'm trying to, because I like The Wolf Among Us.
There's more stuff to kind of fuck with, though.
Yeah,
like there's more stuff to like examine, and like there's more like world building stuff than like maybe not season 1 of The Walking Dead, but like season 2, like it's just straight up cutscenes. It's kind of insulting at some point.
That's true.
When you're like the only thing you're doing is like, okay, press forward now.
At the same time though, like I think that rewind mechanic sort of makes the idea of doing choices like super irrelevant because it's like, oh, I can see out the immediate consequences right the fuck now. Rewind, pick a different choice, and fuck, I don't want to spoil something for you in the demo. I don't know how.
Don't spoil it because I'm not gonna get it very soon. I'm gonna wait until it's complete and then I'll buy it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like episodic content that doesn't have like a set release schedule. I've been burned by that on Telltale
Chris,
shit too much.
Honestly, Chris, depending on how that game plays out, I'm probably gonna force you to play it by actually buying you the game.
Seems like something Chris would be into.
Probably.
Just because I feel like it would be wasted on Ben or William. And it would be super wasted on El Josa.
Oh yeah.
Although I think if we could get like a live stream of El Josa playing that game, that might be amusing in itself.
Yeah, worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
Don't let him play it isolated because he'll just like do his El Josa thing.
Yeah.
Do the El Josa cycle, like it, and then hate it later.
He'll do the El Josa cycle like while he's playing it.
Yeah,
he'll go from start to finish like, right then and there.
He'll enjoy it, and then he'll come to us and be like, "That game was shit."
He'll say he hates it just because you like it.
Yeah,
asshole.
I don't know. I'm super optimistic about the game. Maybe more than I should be, but whatever. New ideas. Fuck, please, more new ideas. E3 better be all new ideas. The first fucking sequel that gets shown, like, well, that game sucks on premise.
Well, you know Microsoft's going to start off with the new Call of Duty.
Oh, they're going to start off with Call of Duty, then Halo, then Forza 6, probably Gears of War 4.
Yeah, no, actually, that is probably legitimately what's going to happen. It's
and then Crackdown,
Crackdown 2, yeah,
3,
all those
Crackdown
things.
2.
Well, it should be
Crackdown 2 again.
Which whatever, like Crackdown, I'll let it slide just because like I want a good sequel to Crackdown, and I'm hoping. And then like I hope Scalebound gets shown, and then like, but that's not going to be a 2015 game. Like I want AAA to. We had this good stretch, right, where retail games and indie games were kicking ass, and now it's gotten to a point where like AAA has come down to it's going to be 4 or 5 games that were actually honestly worth playing, and the rest of your games are going to be like the downloadable stuff. Which whatever, I love the downloadable stuff, but like
it doesn't sell consoles.
Yeah. Like, I want Metal Gear Solid 5 and Bloodborne to have some running mates that aren't sequels in their category.
Even though they're both sequels.
Even though they're all sequels, yes. Yes, you're right.
Is that what you're worried about the C3? It's just going to be all sequel stuff?
I can spoil it for you. It probably will be.
You all want an additional Mass Effect
listen, like,
I'm not like
sequel. I'm not being irrational in the sense that like I'm not prepared for the onset of sequels. But I would like a sign that a few, like 5 new IPs that look interesting that are supposed to come out within the next 2 years. Maybe I'll be excited about E3 out of that. Like, just like I don't think that's an unreasonable number. 5 over the course of a 2015 or 2016 release. You think I'm pushing it with 5?
Yeah, but I bet they're gonna just show a bunch of bullshit CGI trailers.
All right, because my rule is if you didn't show game, you didn't show anything. Yeah,
they'll be like, oh, we're really excited with this new IP, and then it's just a CGI trailer. You're like, okay, what is that even?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
at the least I wish more AAA games were like Metal Gear Solid 5 of actually making me feel like we're moving forward in some meaningful way. Which, whatever, I guess Phil's right. I'm downplaying The Witcher to some extent, and I'm downplaying Uncharted a little bit, and then maybe I'm downplaying Zelda when we've barely seen any of it, but like, I look at those games and I just literally go, that's more Uncharted, that's more... Like, Halo changed a lot of things to an extent, and I'm still going, no, fuck that. That's just more Halo at this point. Like, they made 60 frames Halo.
Yeah, and plus the way they handled Master Chief Collection, I don't know.
Yeah, like, now I'm pretty much expecting it to launch broken, which, like, fuck
you.
They
literally have until November to fix the Master Chief Collection, and then that's dubbed forever.
Well, allegedly it's fixed, but I don't know.
No, well, allegedly, but they still have, like, no ranked matchmaking.
Oh, right. They don't have the features that were supposed to be coming out in December and January.
Everyone fucking forgets when that game launched how many playlists and ranked game types there were because they didn't see it like we saw it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember loading in and seeing, like, 40 playlists and being
that game had,
my God.
Yeah, like, when we looked at it, we were like, oh my God, this might literally be, like, the most feature-rich multiplayer thing ever.
And then it's
like, oh, right, it comes at the expense of this game is fucking unplayable.
Yeah, and now it's stripped. Like, it's playable now, totally functional now, stripped, like, back so far. So, yeah, I'm nervous for Guardians.
Dude, I'm super, like, just mad at that game even more now, because, like, I fucking love Halo 2. And, like, I'm never going back to that. I'm not gonna buy MCC. Like, I'm just not. Like, fuck you.
I honestly haven't played it in like a month.
Yeah, like, I feel like I get it that I'm the dickhead who went to Battlefield 4, but like, I never bought Battlefield 4 at launch.
Right.
So it never got to basically say fuck you to my wallet. So now that I got to play the real version of that game, I'm like, yeah, this is a good game.
Plus, it wasn't tarnishing a memory you had.
Exactly. Like, when I bought MCC, like I said, a year from now, someone's gonna play that game and rediscover that Halo 2 was one of the best multiplayer games ever made.
Yeah.
But it said fuck you to my wallet, and that's where I usually draw my line of not forgiving someone. It's like, you said fuck you to my wallet.
Yeah.
You say fuck you to me. Like, cinematic walking does that all the time. Clearly, I'll still play a game if it still had cinematic walking, which maybe that's the problem. But
I just can't see Halo 5.
Like, when you say fuck you to my wallet, that's when I just go, you're like, no, fuck you too.
Halo franchise is so weird to me. It's a AAA franchise that, like, hasn't wowed me since... I don't even think Halo 3 wowed me.
I mean, if we're really being honest about the Halo talk, let's, like...
No, Scarab wowed me.
Yeah, but I really think what you're trying to say is that Halo stopped being exciting after 3. Because, like, when I think of when Halo 3 was coming out, there was this excitement level. And then when I think of Halo Reach, like, statistically it did very well. But I felt the excitement was just more like, kind of like the way we get excited for, I don't know, name something. I don't know, let's not name something. But, like, the excitement level was different. It wasn't, like, there's a difference between you're hyped and they're being hyped. Like, when Grand Theft Auto is coming out, regardless of what your opinion was the last one, it's a hype train. It is like the train. Like, it is the game being talked about. Yeah. I don't think Halo's been that since 2007.
No. Like, think about it. When Persona drops a trailer, everyone shits their pants.
And the gaming community gets really into it.
Yeah, and then Halo, it's like, oh, cool, that's coming out this year, right?
Like,
right.
Yeah, and it's not like... And it's like it's not like it's a platinum game where it has such a niche audience that, you know, we're like, don't get me wrong, it's not like Halo gets talked less than Bayonetta, but like the fact that we're humoring them being talked about in a way that
there isn't this like fervent like fan
exactly
here.
Like people go to bat for platinum.
I think that's probably like directly applicable to like the series' decline in quality. You know,
I feel that.
I didn't want to say it out loud because when I say it,
I don't like, as someone who was super excited for Halo 3 and really liked Halo 3 and then really liked ODST, like I felt like Reach was a real drop off, and then I didn't like 4, and I don't know, like I don't give a shit about Halo 5 at all.
Yeah. And Halo 5 I feel like represents everything sort of wrong with Microsoft still. Like, they've made great strides since their initial which, like, from there, the only place you could go was up when they initially showed the Xbox One, but it's still, like, like, when I think Xbox, I still think Dude Bro Machine, right? Yep. Which isn't a bad thing. Like, I have no problem with Dude Bro games. I like Binary Domain. I like Gears of War. I liked Halo at one point for the multiplayer. But
I wouldn't call Binary Domain a Dude Bro game.
Man, its mentality is the best kind of dude, bro.
It's like Ghost in the Shell meets Blade Runner. I don't think they really qualify. I think they were trying to go for that in gameplay, but I think that game does not come off like that when you actually play it.
All right, whatever. That's what the point.
Yo,
do
you think that we'll see Gears 4?
Yeah, I'm totally expecting
You'll
that.
Get the teaser. Yeah, sure.
But like, I want to see Microsoft just like, we've been waiting for Microsoft to get like something that resembles a diverse catalog, right? And they're like, they've sort of flirted with it by like bringing back Killer Instinct, funding a platinum game, the Ultimate Mercenary Studio, and then like Phantom Dust, which whatever. But
yeah,
like,
I don't think that exists.
But like when I think of the Microsoft game getting me excited, I mean, I guess I would say Halo. Whereas when I think of the PlayStation game getting me excited this year, it's Bloodborne, and that is something diverse and different from the rest of what Sony usually does. And then next year, I'm sure they're going to have something else that they're... Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
They got Persona this year, too.
And they got Persona this year, and like, I feel like there's something that's not just bullshit fucking shooter.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, I don't think Microsoft's going to get behind Scalebound the way they're going to get behind Halo, which, I mean, whatever.
No.
Business decisions at that point. But, whatever. I don't know.
I mean, just taking the risk on the new IP. Like, apparently Rare's got a new IP in the works. Apparently.
God,
but the thing you have to understand about Rare in 2015 is it's not the Rare that you like anymore. Those people are gone. They're not there anymore. Yeah,
let's not even flirt with the part where it's not the Rare of the N64 era. It might not even be the Rare that made Viva Pinata.
Well, it's not even the Rare who made Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. It's not the same people. They left because they got treated like shit. Like, made fucking Connect Sports 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. Like, they're gone. Like, I mean, no, it's cool that they're putting, money into new IP, but they had a new IP in development for 18 fucking months. They flushed down the toilet for Gears of War. So, forgive me for not giving them that much credit. They also just closed the studio that was making Phantom Dust. So, fuck you on that one too, Microsoft. Like, I don't see like where their commitment to new IPs is. Yeah. They'd rather just buy Tomb Raider.
Yeah, like, and everybody's gonna like respond to this as I'm like, oh, they're getting anti-Xbox. Listen, I own an Xbox One. Like, I am the ultimate gaming whore. All I care about is you make a good game, I will be there with my money. So all I want is from these systems to give me games to play, and I feel like Nintendo is sort of doing it, which I think Nintendo can always do way more because they're called the greatest developer of all time, thus they should be expected to do more. And I think that's a legitimate thing to say because, hey, why the fuck are you being called the greatest then? And I think PlayStation's been doing a good job, and like, there are things I want to buy for the Xbox, but then like I'm still looking at the other stuff and going like, honestly, you're the weak link right now in my my house.
Just look at something like Until Dawn. I don't see Microsoft ever funding something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
is it going to be the greatest game ever? Probably not. Like,
is that the game with the...
It's the horror game.
It's the horror game with Hayden Panettiere.
Oh, man, I'm so getting all my friends over for that one.
Yeah, it looks like it's something like... My wife really likes Beyond and Heavy Rain. I'm not as high on those as she is, but like that's something she'll play.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like a market that's uncatered to when you go over to Xbox, unless you want to play D4, which...
It's
a lot of people
probably
don't
there
want
you go.
to.
Fuck, I played D4. I like that fucking game. Where's the rest of that?
Not happening.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, like, we're wondering if that game's, like, we're basically hoping that he gets to release it on the PC, gets an audience on the PC where he could just say, cool, I'm just gonna make the rest of it with some other publisher or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I have no desire to ever play Until Dawn, and I definitely don't like anything David Cage made, but, like, it comes back to your point.
At least they're allowed to do it.
Yeah. Sony at least goes for a wider group and maybe it won't be a good game, but at least it'll be something different, whereas Microsoft is very safe and predictable, and, like, they need something in their lineup that isn't safe and predictable.
Right.
And that's getting tiring. Like, Scream Ride, like, that game isn't, like, super freaking amazing or anything, but I think it's cool. Like, I think it's fun. Like, it's different from like, thank you, Roller Coaster Tycoon. No one's making that shit anymore. What?
We forgot to mention Forza 6.
Yeah, there's a reason we didn't mention Forza. No, I didn't name drop it, but
they got Ori in the Bling Forest 2 days from now.
Oh yeah, the Ori. God, I hope that game kicks ass.
Me too.
Well, I mean, like, the thing for me with those type of things is, like, I have a gaming PC. I'm very, very much in love with my gaming PC. So when, like, a game is Xbox One and PC, I just go, yeah, I'll play it on PC. Like, Rise of the Tomb Raider, if it's a PC day one release, which I'm kind of banking on, yeah, I'm playing it on PC.
No, it's not. It's 360 and Xbox
God,
One.
Does Microsoft hate
for a
freedom?
Year. For a year.
For a year?
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm guessing.
No, I think it's like 6 months, but yeah.
Or 6 months, yeah.
It's not happening day and day.
I guess I'm playing that game on an Xbox One. Fuck.
At this point, I play like PS4 exclusives on PS4, Wii U exclusive on Wii U, and then I always throw the multi-plat to the X-Bone, like I'm throwing it a bone. I'm like, I haven't played even a while. I'll play the multi-plat.
Oh, you give the Xbox One the pity game?
Yeah, I'm just like,
but like even when you do that, you're getting a worse game
I
most of the
feel
time.
bad
Like,
for it. I know.
Like you're I don't know.
Because like
I don't own an Xbox One yet, which is weird because like in this point in the cycle last time I owned all of them.
Because like, Bloodborne is in 2 weeks.
There's no reason for me to have an Xbox One.
Not yet.
Like I haven't seen like a single game that makes me go, yeah, sure. And I'm not saying like it takes that because like, you know, there are definitely other consoles where like the cumulative sum of games does it. But like I'm looking at like, do I really care about Halo 5? Fuck no.
Nope.
Do I care? Do I care that I have to wait to play Rise of the Tomb Raider? No, because I don't want to play it in that resolution anyway. Do I like? I'm looking at these things. It's like Scalebound. It doesn't really sound like something that I like. You know, that Platinum's making. Like maybe it'll be really good, but you know, whatever. Nothing I can't get down the line. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. If this became like a Xbox One talk, but
well, it's because
right now, if we're being honest, like if you're a gaming enthusiast, like let's talk gaming industry as a whole right now. PlayStation's won the sales battle. I don't care what anyone says. That shit is locked, loaded,
It's done.
game
It's
over.
done. Yeah,
that shit ended. So like the only thing left to talk about are what these consoles do as like gaming platforms. And if you're an enthusiast of this medium, first of all, I think PC gaming is still doing its thing to a point where you can't like deny PC gaming its status. Nintendo, for all their shortcoming, it still has the one thing they can always hang on to, which is that their first party still holds some of the most iconic franchises in gaming, and they're gonna be good games on their bad days. On their bad days, they're usually good games. So when they are having a good day, it's usually a pretty awesome game. And then Sony, because they are the market leader, they are the developer-friendly console, they are doing all this stuff with indies, they're gonna get games because the PlayStation platforms have historically gotten games in the long run. Like, when I think of the PS3, yeah, that first year sucked, but man, Demon's Souls kicked ass in 2009. Man, Valkyria Chronicles was awesome in 2008. Man, I really liked Journey. Man, I really liked The Last of Us. I really had a good time with Metal Gear Solid 4. By the way, I couldn't play Ni no Kuni on the 360 because only one of these systems is going to sell in Japan. When I'm looking at the Xbox, I'm going, I don't know if I'm really that into Halo anymore, because Halo 5's beta got me, like, I was having fun, but I wasn't super into it. And like,
that's it.
Yeah. And then, like, I'm not a racing game person. Like, I respect Forza the franchise, but like, to the point where I think Microsoft has done that franchise no service by letting it come out so often.
Yeah, if you only have one console at this point, it's the Xbox One, you're missing out on a lot of big ones.
Yeah. I don't know.
Whereas you're not really missing out on anything if you're on PS4.
We can move on to more 2015 stuff, like Mortal Kombat's brutalities and fatalities are going to be pretty wicked.
Violent games. I feel like we've reached that point where our imaginations can officially take a permanent hiatus. Graphics have gotten to the point where it's all on display.
I'm actually pretty disgusted by some of the Mortal Kombat X stuff, and I usually don't have that reaction.
They're violent.
Disgusted in an offended, or disgusted in a wow that's violent?
In a wow that makes me uncomfortable way. Like I'm not getting offended at the level of violence. I'm just like, ooh, like kind of makes me sit back a little bit, you know. Like I don't feel like I've been like that with a whole lot of games before. But yeah, Mortal Kombat X looks like it's gonna be great. I don't know what else there is to say about it. It's Mortal Kombat again.
Mortal Kombat.
25 years in the future. Got future Johnny Age.
Oh my god, we've reached that point.
Then you have the return of the isometric RPG started this year. Wasteland, Shadowrun. Then you got
oh, you mean last year? Yeah.
Last year, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm still thinking it's 2014. Divinity. Then you got Torment, Pillars of Eternity. Yeah,
that is a rough game to be a sequel for. Not in the sense that Planescape is this all-time great playing game, because it's fucking not.
It's not. No.
But like the reverence that people have for the plot of Planescape Torment, and a lot of it is deserved. Like that might like. I don't think there's a might that is Chris Avalon's best work, and like I would not want to be the guy writing this.
There's no way it will live up, but I still want to play it.
Yeah. No, I hope that game turns out good. I hope Obsidian finally going back to some like old school styled RPG does them no solid with Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the year Age of Decadence finally exists. You know?
Do we think the Division's coming out this year or no?
I hope so. Because the Division is like one of those, like, it's not really a new idea necessarily, because now we've sort of seen Destiny in work.
Yeah, but that game sucked.
Well, yeah, but like what I'm saying is like the studio once made World in Conflict, so I want to believe that a studio that once made that really good game can make another good game after that. And won't be ruined by the Ubisoft formula.
Like we're in a gen where an idea that big is feasible. It can happen. I believe it. Like, if this has been last year, I'd been like, they're probably making some shit up. But now, like, it's a weird game to look at, but if the Nemesis system can work as they said it could work, I feel like this gen...
Yeah, but it's Ubisoft, though. It's not Warner Bros.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
I mean, alright, so Rainbow Six Siege
is
supposed to come out this year.
That look cool.
And I'm not believing anything they'll say.
No? You're not believing that?
Nope. Wait, let it come out. Then, as a Rainbow Six fan, I've been burned too many times.
It's such a cool idea, though, right?
Yeah, no, it's really great. Looks
I
great.
like the demo they showed.
Do you think it's a bad time for them to come out with a cop game?
I think Siege is a different thing than Battlefield Hardline.
Yeah.
I think Hardline is like specifically like, yeah, you can be the criminal cop and you can shoot everybody. It's like, but like
Yikes.
Siege is like, there's a hostage situation. You should probably get that person out safe.
Yeah.
Like Siege, I think is like more like SWAT 4 was really respectful about that sort of thing. You know, like you went in, you surveyed, you talked to people. You'd put them in cuffs just to keep them there while you could get the situation under control. And that was what SWAT 4 was like. A very like, it respected the people, whereas Hardline's like, we've got fucking tanks in Los Angeles, blow up buildings. I don't care if there's people there, collateral damage.
You're like, oh my god.
Be the bad cop. It's like, no, fuck you. There's way too many bad cops now. Like, stop.
It's like, yeah, now suddenly watching Dirty Harry is like, you're responsible for this.
Yeah, Siege looks more like, yeah, right? Yeah. Like, oh man, the IAD committee is going to be all over your ass. No, I feel like they're kind of, it's a tone thing, right?
Yeah.
Like Siege is more like that SWAT sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, Hardline is more like Bad Boys 2 if Bad Boys 2 didn't have jokes.
Oh my god, that movie would suck!
I just watched Bad Boys 2 last week again.
I love Bad Boys 2.
Holds up. That movie's like 4 hours long though. Holy shit.
That movie is way too long. That movie is way too long, but it is so stupid.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Oh man, Rainbow Six. It is fascinating how Ubisoft. I feel like there's these two Ubisofts, right? There's the Ubisoft that like allows these downloadable games that like that are allowed to do different and unique things, and they don't hit their marks all the time. But I liked what Valiant Hearts was. I liked what I'm seeing of Grow Home.
Yeah, you say it, but Grow Home is just one big tower climbing.
Man, that is reductionist. That is reductionist.
But it is though. It is. Look at that game. It totally is.
But yeah, but it's a good thing out of it. Like the very.
But it's just Ubisoft tower climbing the game.
No, I mean it's more of a platform.
You're just climbing the tower.
Come on.
To build more towers, to climb more towers.
Don't be that guy, Philip.
Listen, man, I'm just trying to blow your mind right now. I'm just trying to open your eyes.
Listen,
wake up, sheeple.
Listen, I know we have a strict no jive rule, but I'm asking you to hold yourself in check. And let me jive some bit.
Jive. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I can't.
Right.
No jive.
Well, what I'm saying is like, but when I think of AAA Ubisoft is a douchebag right now.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Like, what was the AAA game they made last year? That was Far Cry 4.
Yeah, it's like the exception that like makes everything else look so bad.
Exactly, and it's like everyone's basically saying is like it's not that Far Cry 4 isn't the Ubisoft formula. It's as much as that Far Cry 4 is proof why the Ubisoft formula can create a good game. They just don't know how to separate it from let's just let Far Cry do this and not everyone else.
I feel like the Far Cry team like understands that it's total jive.
Yeah.
So they have to make it work.
Yeah.
Exploding elephants.
Exploding elephants.
Oh, exploding elephants.
Weaponized pachyderm combat.
That was so good. Such a good thing. Oh well.
I still haven't played Far Cry 4. I'm pretty disappointed about that.
Battlefront is supposed to be this year.
Yes, Battlefront.
That's not coming out this year.
Yes, it is, alongside the movie. They already confirmed it. I don't want to hear it. Battlefront's coming out this year.
Nope.
Do you think
you'll see it at E3. I bet you'll see Battlefront at E3. You won't see Mass Effect 4.
That would really depress me.
Do you really want to see Mass Effect 4 at this point?
Yeah.
I don't.
It's already exists. Might as well just show the damn thing.
It exists so far as, like, there's character models made.
I've seen Mako gameplay. You know how excited I am?
Honestly, dude, honestly, dude, if they're just gonna make it like Inquisition, I don't want it.
No, they're not going to make it like Inquisition. They already said that Inquisition is not indicative of how. Even though people liked Inquisition, they said
if they're gonna use Frostbite 3.
What if they got Martin Lawrence and Will Smith for Mass Effect 4 and just made Bad Boys 3 in space?
Yo, would play every day of my life.
And they just called it Mass Effect 4 Bad Boys in Space.
Wouldn't even be mad.
What if there's a part where they're trying to break into the morgue because the drug dealers are coming after them, and they have to hide under the sheets with the bodies. And one of the bodies is a naked woman who's got boobs.
Boobs and things.
Yeah,
and
that
stuff.
sounds like an EA. That sounds like an EA thing. They would do.
Sounds like a BioWare thing.
Yeah, totally.
No, what the hell? No, it doesn't.
The boobs would have a bit of conversation dialogue.
Dude, like they could have like space favelas that you can drive a Humvee through and shit.
Yes.
Huh?
Space KKK members.
Yeah. Come on, Chris.
Space getting shot through the butt cheek.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
Have you not seen Bad Boys 2?
I've seen that. No, but like, why is space getting shot through the butt cheek?
Because at this point, that's
in space.
You can't just add space to something.
Yes, you can. See,
yeah.
this kind of small thinking is why.
Pretty sure it's still copyrighted.
But what if it wasn't, man?
Wait, does Michael Bay own a copyright on getting shot through the butt cheek?
Yeah, he owns that shot.
What? Oh man,
are you serious?
No, you fruit. Why would I just...
Because
I was about to go Google this.
Yeah,
wait a second. Wait a second.
Wait, what? Listen, in this day and age, anything is possible.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that guy tried to copyright Candy and Crush and Saga.
Didn't someone try to copyright Hot?
Yeah, didn't work. Can't copyright that stuff.
Yeah, let's say it's a word. I don't know.
It's a regular word. Yeah.
Wait, who was it?
Avril Lavigne.
I don't know.
It was Avril Lavigne? Okay.
Was it Avril Lavigne?
No.
No.
I was just lying. Just making shit up.
Now he's just naming names.
All right.
Fuck.
All right. Mad Max.
No, what?
More like passive aggressive Max from the screenshots and video.
That looks so
Doesn't seem very mad.
Ugly, man.
The game does look ugly.
It has the worst box art.
Yeah, like it's so
when
funny.
I say generic here, I mean generic.
Like, I'm not really about graphics, but when a game looks ugly, you can't look past it.
The dude's face is just random guard gruff McMilitary.
Well, yeah, let's be fair here. Like, I love being, like, I care about the game, I don't care how it looks, to a certain extent, which is that graphics matter in the sense that, like, first of all, great animations matter. If you think the Arkham games would work with lesser animations, you're on drugs.
Maybe.
Like, I don't think it looks bad so much as that it's very inconsistent with how it looks, like, aesthetically. Which I kind of get what they were going for, but you're just putting random spikes on shit for no reason at some point.
Which is, like, hilarious, because, like, Mad Max is, like, one of the most ripped-off franchises when it comes to gaming.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, how are we
even like the early Borderlands screens and stuff?
That always happens. The person who invented stuff ends up ripping off the stuff that it ripped off originally. Or
my thing is just like they made like the main dude just look so plain. There's like nothing interesting about his design.
He's Nathan Drake's brother.
They gave a guy a leg brace. It's like, no, not even. Like Nathan Drake at least like has like a distinct look to him. This guy like literally just looks like an NPC that you'd find in like Call of Duty. Gruff McMilitary
like
number 4.
Like in the background, they didn't even like fucking.
Yeah, like in the back, like. And not like the high poly model, like the low poly model in the crowd.
It's like in WWE games, like in the fucking 4th row.
Yeah, there's the guy with the sign, and then there's that like weird blip in the like back row. Yeah, okay.
And they're like, we need
I don't
him
know.
as the main character as for our game.
I guess they're getting this out because the new movie's coming out. New movie looks great, by the way.
Oh my god! If that trailer is anything,
I
close
wish
to
the
movie,
game looked. I wish the game looked like the movie.
That'd be cool.
Next gen licensed
it's
product.
very clear they didn't really talk to each other on that one.
They never do.
Because well, I don't think that's strictly true. But I think like I don't know, Mad Max. Maybe it'd be great. I don't know.
Nah,
probably not.
Won't.
Okay. Shadowrun Hong Kong. I think we're just bringing that up because Eljosa.
So Eljosa raged really hard while playing Dragonfall, and I will buy him that game if he like legit like just buy him that game. Like no, you need to play this when we're in Skype calls together. This is great.
What else? I don't think we have much else left.
I think that's it. Everything else is like under the I mean, yeah, Danganronpa 3
Danganronpa 3 is just announced.
Everything else,
I don't know if it'll be 2015.
Yeah.
But surprise us.
But they said because of the success of the American releases, that is facilitating it actually happening. So that's really cool.
So that's awesome. Yeah,
it's a good little success story for Vita, no less.
Of all things, wow, against all odds at that point. That's playing video games on hard mode, man.
It's funny in the presentation when they announced at GDC, there was a screen of the little bears from Danganronpa. They were like laying down next to a Vita. They looked dead. They're like, "Why won't anybody buy a Vita?" That was one of the slides in their thing.
Poor Vita.
Sony wants to know the same thing. I don't know.
One day.
I don't know, Sony doesn't care.
I was about to say,
they're
these
gonna
days,
sell PlayStation
lame
TVs.
ass handhelds like 3DS so I don't get it.
Vita is going to be like the Dreamcast of its time, except that it has good games.
Wow.
Hey, let me ask you something. Can I play Rogue Legacy on a Dreamcast? Didn't think so. Boom.
Surprised you didn't go with Persona the lead, but you went with Rogue Legacy, so I pick up what you're putting down.
Can I play
Phillip.
Persona 4 on a Dreamcast?
You know what you can play? Wait. You know what you can play on the Vita that you can't play on the Dreamcast? Shovel Knight. Oh, in 2 months. But
what a great port machine.
No, it comes out this month. Sometime.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Comes out a couple weeks.
Listen, Chris, I don't care what you say. It has Shovel Knight or Go Good System. Now moving on.
Facts.
I think
Facts.
I think that should finish us
Wraps
off.
it up. We probably missed some stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah. Basically, for the most part, we're still really excited, but Gagan wants way more exciting things announced at E3 because AAA gaming, kick more ass. Indie games, keep kicking ass. You're doing a good job.
E3's always got great announcements. So and last year marked the triumphant return of TGS. So
Yes.
and Gamescom has been big as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, these shows, they're coming back.
And Silent Hills? And,
yeah, Silent Hills. Once Metal Gear Solid 5 comes out and he, like, ramps up production on that, holy shit.
yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to kick all kinds of ass. We're definitely hoping Persona 5 makes it into 2015. Batman looks beast. Hopefully
Witcher 3.
Uncharted. Yeah, Witcher 3 looks beast.
Hope my computer will run Witcher 3.
Christopher.
We have to like listen to this podcast after the year is over and see what surprises, what disappointed
That's really
us.
the point of this podcast, is to come back to this podcast at the end of the year and just be like, fuck you, Phil. I told you Witcher would be stupid. I told you.
I didn't think MGS5 could suck so much.
No. Dude, I will stop playing video games. Like, not full, like, honesty. Metal Gear Solid 5 sucks.
Maybe I like
video
music
games.
now.
Like, that's it. Like, we are changing Endless Backlog as a website because I am refusing to eat this crow right now.
Just shut it down. Just delete the PHP file.
Because like, the amount of shit I gave Bungie will come back to bite me in the ass. Like, Will and Justin will be all over that shit.
I'm gonna have to hit Kojima up on Twitter and be like, listen, a lot's riding on this thing. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think you understand. I'm like endearing and entertaining about the Bungie bashing. William will be insufferable about the Metal Gear bashing.
Oh my god.
This has been a year and a half in the making, actually. Like, you guys have been hyping Metal Gear Solid 5 since
Ground Zeroes.
Like Ground Zeroes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a year ago next week.
And it'll be...
by the
and
time...
No. You want some symmetry here, Chris. It might literally have been almost a year of Destiny bashing.
Yeah, because September 1st.
So, I mean, it's only going to be a few days short of Destiny's 1 year anniversary of sucking.
Destiny was September 9th.
Oh, God. I don't know. It's kind of scary.
And trust me,
I'm just glad Gagan is like breaking his double dipping rule just so he could play with me. That's really cool.
Fuck yeah! Well, wait, I don't have a double dipping rule.
Oh, I thought you were usually against buying games twice.
Fuck no. If the game's awesome,
Dude,
it
he has
deserves my
like
money
18
twice.
copies
I mean,
of
I'm doing it
Resident
because I'm
4.
crazy, and eventually I will own all of the, the 5 copies of Metal Gear Solid 5, each of them.
So
Ground
Metal
Zeroes
Gear
and
Solid
Phantom Pain.
5 had Watch Dogs levels of...
Well, you know what sucks? Like, I started this shit with Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, and I own, like, 6 copies of Metal Gear Solid 2, all different versions. And, like, so now, like, I'm looking at my collection, I'm like, oh my god, like, I'm gonna break my rule if I don't buy, like, the Xbox 360 version of Ground Zeroes at some point. Fuck.
It's gonna be so
It's a good thing that
ugly.
game's like $5 now.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm not gonna play it. I'm not even gonna open it, Chris. You don't understand.
What the
This
fuck?
is like
You
a
just buy
collector's
it to
fucking
have it?
tick.
That's weird.
It's important.
Listen. I hope
Don't think
someday you care about something as much as I care about Metal Gear.
I don't think that's
I
possible.
was about to say. I was gonna say you might actually care about Metal Gear more than he cares about Persona.
Yeah, I only buy that game
I mean,
once.
I own the Japanese. In fact, I just bought it a couple weeks ago. I own the Japanese like collector's edition for MGS4.
What is
like,
the point of that? I don't understand.
Dude, the Japanese collector's edition, that's such a cool box art, though!
It does. It does.
You just stare at it? Like,
Yes! Have you seen it?
I could look at a picture.
I have a shelf dedicated to Metal Gear. I have a shelf dedicated to Metal
That's
Gear.
what you said. You're like, I don't know if I could afford this in shelf space more than money.
I did say that. I don't think Gagan saw that, but yeah. I think for me it's like, tax season, so a little bit of mad money.
Yeah.
It's like,
feels like, man, I'm gonna have to buy a new shelf.
You have to get a new trophy case because this one's too small now. Even though it takes up half my living room. No, but yeah, it's
2015,
Yeah.
please kick ass.
I'm ready.
I hope so.
This was episode 48. Chris, sign us off.
Signing off.
Okay.
It's like I'm
These
telling you, you
seasons
can't
are
just
terrible.
put someone on the spot like that.
You guys are like the ultimate Peyton Mannings, by the way, but whatever. Like, Phil is Tom Brady. If I put him on the spot, boom, handles that shit.
Yeah, I feel like he'd have it better than I do.
The rest of you guys can't handle it under pressure. I tried to give Will hosting duties a few weeks ago. Wasn't ready for it. I'm like, you know what? Never gonna be ready for it.
Yeah, you get the big boy pants,
It was like the big boy. Like, you don't get to pick when the promotion's gonna happen at your job. They give it to you. You don't get to say, "I don't think I'm ready for it," because that's when your boss says you're never gonna be ready for it. You're never
Fired.
getting it.
Never.
Exactly.
Make $7 an hour all the time. You're gonna be a line cook.
Good thing I don't
Microwave
get paid
them
for
burger
this.
patties.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Now that we've extended
That's
this podcast, please enjoy your night. We'll see you next week.